Welcome back everyone to the two-deck tournament. Today we have on the left Mikkel piloting his dragons, and on the right we have Casper once again piloting his MarinoMancer. This is actually going to be, I think, the last of the normal tournament before we get into the semifinals and grand finals. So yeah, it's pretty high stakes at this moment. So Casper has started off with Marus. The reason why we see a lot of the same decks playing this tournament is because obviously everyone had two decks, but it seemed that most people would stick to one deck and then kind of use the other decks like a backup once they won the first with that deck to, have a chance against the rest of what people were playing. So usually they would play like one deck a lot and then like switch. But we have seen Mikkel play mostly his Beastfolk deck in this tournament, and right now he's pulling out a secondary deck with his dragons. It is a Fire, Darkness, Nature kind of deck. There's a Kukulupia. So let's see if Casper has an answer to the bird here. You ever seen that kind of meme in Magic where it's like Bolt the bird? Well, it exists in Duel Masters as well, except that the bird is Kukulupia instead of Bird's Paradise. Anyway, he's gonna tap it down and kill it with the Sarius, and yeah, that's really gonna set Mikkel back a little bit. I'm sure he could have dropped like some kind of big dragon. He has a super dragon machine Dosark in the deck. He also has things like more meteors, as you can see down in Mana Zone, but he also has stuff um, Jagalto, and of course he has the big bad Uber Dragon Bajula to finish off the games. But his deck is very good at putting on pressure, but of course if you kill Kukulupia or some of his like early dragons, it becomes a lot harder for him to build up a presence on the game. So like the thing about Mikkel is his deck's are often extremely like bulldozer. He plays a lot of like big threats and big creatures, and sometimes he gets kind of rushed down by early threats. But in the in a return of that, even though he'll lose to early game like decks like Rush and Aggro, he does have a pretty okay matchup against some of the more greedy control decks, as a matter of fact, because of or maybe some of the decks that don't run as much removal. Like for example, Mikkel's main primary removal is tapping creatures down, which can be very annoying for some decks. But in this matchup, it is going pretty well. Obviously, Mikkel is having a small board, so Casper has like built a big wall here that Mikkel has to kind of get through. Um, Unfortunate that he had to charge that. Oh, that's the Machine Dragon Dosark. I was gonna say of Dragon Machine Dosark, whatever his name is. I was gonna say that it was unfortunate he had to charge the Galg Life Dragon. It's very good in this matchup since that Casper is playing a lot of like light creatures, so that's like really good against those. But he's able to take some shields here, but because like the Magnet Dragon is a 4K, so it does go through some of the blockers that Casper does. He doesn't want to trade the blockers for no reason, so he's not gonna block any of that. I wonder what Casper is gonna play here. Oh, is this is something it's a crazy Valkyrie to tap down the Dulzark and then he can kill it. Yeah, this is only a 5K, I think, or 6K, so it's gonna die. It might actually be a 7K. I'm not actually sure how big that creature is, but it's quite big. I think it's like six cost 5K, or it's somewhere between like 5K and 7K. But it's just really big creature. Bolshak Dragon coming in. I don't know if Borshak is necessarily the best dragon to play, but because he has Kukulupia and Machine Dosark, it's actually 8K, so he can actually kill it with Crazy Valkyrie. He can like straight into it, so it's a little bit better than it usually would be. He can't like tap it down and kill it with Crazy Valkyrie here because it's too big, so it does just get powered up by every fire card in your graveyard. There's a Tajamol, which is really bad for Mikkel. I can trade with Borshak Dragon, so it's a lot better for him, but in general, it's just like I feel like Casper has kind of taken control. It's gonna be difficult for Mikkel. Doesn't tap down the little magma dragon, and the crazed Valkyrie can kill it. I think Mikkel has stopped like top decking here, and he doesn't have a lot of mana, but he does have like a ball sack dragon, so it's gonna be a little bit easier for him to get back into the game with that. Obviously, it's a very kind of like not the best dragon you can play. There's definitely way more better options, such as Jagalso or even some of the other dragons he's playing as Jalant, but it's just a 6K that dies when it battles, so it doesn't really do much. But he can try to kill the Grace. Obviously, Maru is just going to intercept and stop the attack from happening. Sacrifice itself, but it's fine. Not a Maru Ooze. He's just building this wall of blockers, and this is why the he plays two Tajimals. He has three Tajimals in play now. This is exactly why the Galg Life Dragon would be very, very good here. Doesn't look there's a natural snare. Um, wonder what he's gonna snare. Had he snared the Mario's? No, I don't think he does that, right? He's gonna snare the Craze, I'm sure. Why does he snare the Mario? Maybe he's thinking he can go in for like a final push here. But in general, it's just kind of rough. Caspar is just taking complete control over most of the game at this point, so it's going to be difficult for Mikkel to amount to a comeback here, maybe. I think that having one shield left and only natural snare isn't necessarily the best, but it does at least do something to alleviate some of the pressure that Caspar has. Maybe natural snare the Valkyrie isn't even that good of an option because the only way you win this game is if you can get in and be lucky with a top deck. Skogalupia from Mikkel, and also a Super Dragon Machine Dosark. So now when he attacks, he can actually kill one of the blockers, so he can kill the Marus. And the Ballsack Dragon is actually bigger than the what's it called, the Tajimon. So this Jiland is gonna go in for the 1k and kill the Tajimon. I think he should have killed the 1k on the other side, so he didn't die to. Yeah, okay, maybe he's changing that, yeah, because then kill that and kill the other thing. Yeah, because then he doesn't die oh, he obviously blocks it. Ah, that's annoying. But yeah, there's not much he can do. He's still gonna have to like be even if he kills the blocker or not, he's still gonna have to be relying on a shield trigger here. And if he doesn't have one, then there's just game. So we'll see if there is a trigger in the last shield here, because Casper has two attackers and Mikkel only has one shield left, I believe. So Zombie Carnival, probably gonna say Initiate. Yeah, get back Sarius, and then he can also play the Tajimon because that's Initiate as well. He got back. And that's just kind of rough. He's gonna go for last shield and see if there's something. There's sadly nothing. So yeah, Casper is taking this game, and I believe that qualifies him to go into the finals, if I'm not wrong, where he will be facing someone else. It's actually me. I was able to make it to the finals. So the next video I'm going to be uploading is the semifinals, which is going to be Mikkel versus Nino, and then after that I'm going to be uploading the grand finals of the tournament. And then after that, when all that is said and done, I'm going to be making a kind of a long video, a detailed video where I go over each and every one of the deck lists that were played in this tournament, and just like kind of give my honest opinion about what I think is good about them and bad about them, and why I think they're good or bad, or my personal opinion. So that video might be a bit like, it's my personal opinion, so don't take it too personal, because like again, it's like it's a card game, but um, some of my biased opinions might be fluctuating there and be showing up. So take it with a grain of salt. Anyway, that's been it for this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Stay safe, everyone.